Hello and welcome to episode 178 of Nolo Time. I am the man who laughs, Obed Velez, and with me is the boy wonder, Mr. Joel.
What's good? No low time. Obed, will you make it for the first few minutes of the
I'm
show?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Think of like something negative, and I don't even want to think about that, right? But I am composed today, sir. See, the thing is that when you start laughing and you cannot express the reason why you're laughing
That is
while
true.
on air, then
I ended up
then it
finding
makes
out
it hard.
afterwards, but let me tell you, wow. I probably would have been out too, like him. I don't know how he carried on, but kudos to you, sure.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, sir, what's going on with our stream? This looks
Oh,
looks a little funky here. Let me see if I can get this
sorry to our live
little
viewers.
under control here. Hold on.
Yeah, we're like all the way out in the
Oh
corner.
man.
Obed's trying to little by
Oh,
little cut my camera off.
holy cannelloni! Look at this thing. How are you, man?
Dude, I'm doing all right. It's been a busy week. We've got a lot of stuff going on, personally, business wise, all that stuff. But you know what? I'd rather be busy than bored. That's something I often say.
Yeah.
If I had a choice, I would rather be busy than bored, man. Because being busy, time goes by. Being bored, time barely goes by. But we've got a lot of really cool stuff to talk about today. I mean, slower news week, but still some pretty cool stuff. I can't wait to talk about lightsabers, dude. That's what I really can't wait to get into.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting topic. Let me see. Let me see. Do we look? Hey, we look good. We don't look so amateur anymore. You
Don't
would
break that
think
camera, sir.
you would. This is probably like our 70th stream or something.
70. So yeah,
So
178. But yeah, we started streaming after
around
100, I think.
around
Yeah,
100. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you would think that I would have this down, sir, but no. No, we also had technical issues last week.
that's true.
Believe it or not. So I'm glad that that is
You want to
under
share that with
control.
anybody?
Well, I mean, it's just what it is, man. It's a podcast. It's fun. People come in, they look for entertainment, and we provide. Right? That's what we do. Anything new, sir?
Yeah, I mean, well, I've been watching on Disney Plus. I never actually got to watch it regularly. Obviously, just a lot of stuff going on back in the past before the world changed. But I got to go back on Disney Plus and catch their animated Spider-Man series that came out. I want to say 2017. I want to say it was. Um,
No, it's not
the one
spectacular.
the one after
The
that,
one after that. Okay,
right?
never watched it.
Right. So the
Okay.
one that had like the one that had the Spidey Universe Spectacular
Yeah,
Spider-Man one,
I know
like
which one.
that one had
Okay.
a bunch of stuff going on. It got really crazy and never really caught my fancy. They did cool things on it,
Yeah.
but I never really kept up with it. But this other one
I
was way more like grounded, very, very classical Spider-Man in a newer age.
There's one
And
with
one,
like Deadpool and all these guys, right? There's a lot of cameos on it.
I've not seen Deadpool. That was the one before, I think.
Oh,
I think
okay,
that was
okay,
the one
okay,
before. I
okay,
could be
okay,
wrong because I haven't finished it yet.
okay.
But
Okay,
like
I think you're right. I think you're
the
right.
most ones we've had like Iron Man, we've had like Miss Marvel and Black Widow, but uh yeah, I mean like I really really am enjoying it. Like it's very charming. They have
Cool.
alternate takes on a few of the characters like Electro's not who you think it is, and Sandman is not what you might think as well, but still rooted in the original sense, but just I don't know how else to word it, but like taking the characters to a modern age. Um, I love that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm on the second season right now, a little earlier in. Um, it's it's very like family friendly, which you would expect of being on Disney, but it's also very true again to the very core of Spider-Man. They have a lot of really cool Ben Parker scenes that you get, and honestly, I think that's what makes it so special. It's like the end of every episode's like a lesson, which is the
Mm.
way I always read Spider-Man growing up. Like whenever I read any of the books, some of them I still have. it was always like a lesson in it. Spider-Man wasn't necessarily created to just be like a beat up the good guy, bad guy, beat him up. Like there was always a very human part in like what he took away from his victories and his losses.
And we
And
saw that on the Tobey Maguire
yes,
trilogy. That was something that
yes,
was very present. That each
oh yeah,
movie, not even just the movie as a whole, as you know, at the end of the movie, but we see that there's he gets a lesson at basically at every what's the word I'm looking for? Every time you finish a third of the movie, basically, right? An
yeah.
act. That's what I'm looking for. So at the end of every act, he'll learn or have a lesson about something. So
Especially Spider-Man 2, dude. There's some
yeah,
heavy stuff that hits in that movie, but yeah, I that's something I've always loved. Like every Spider-Man always has a human that's the element to him. But yeah, those Tobey Maguire ones, they really nailed it at that moment.
yeah.
But yeah, I recommend it if you guys are looking for something just to casually put on that's like 20 minutes, whatever in the background. Spider-Man on Disney Plus, pretty good.
Cool, cool. Not much on my end. I just talk Spider Man real quick because I sent you a message today. Um, man, that game got real fast, bro.
Yes.
Holy crap! It's like a full like year and a half before,
Yeah.
and it's whoo, bro. It's it's something else. So I'm let me see if I can remember what's the last thing I did. Um, fought Electro and Vulture,
Yep.
and then I did something else after that, and I forgot what it was, and I'm there. So that's where I am right now.
Okay.
Which I'm thinking it's towards probably the end of the game already.
You are, yeah. You've
Yeah,
got like two more main things, I think, but like
yeah.
go blast through very fast.
I did the that one, and then Miles. I got to Rhino
Oh,
the
okay.
second time. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm past that, and I think that's where I left it. So it was when it was like spoiler alert. When it was revealed, right?
Yeah.
With yeah, that's
I give
the
you credit for bouncing back and
I'm
forth between
bouncing
two
back.
Spider-Man things. Like,
Yeah,
that's pretty incredible, dude.
yeah.
That's
I'm having fun.
spectacular.
Thank you, sir. No, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm actually enjoying
Yeah.
doing both at the same time, right? Um, and I did all of the side stuff on the original game. I think I have some of the like the Silver Sable crimes and the Thug crimes. There's still a few that I haven't done because they you just have to wait for them to pop up. Right, it's one of those things that happens while you traverse. But like the main spot is like, oh, those dudes are at these different spots and I gotta go get them. So all that is done basically. So, and same with Miles, like pretty much everything that's not main is done except the app. Like I have a few things on the app still happening. I gotta say the side stuff on Miles is probably a little bit better than on the other one because it's not as annoying.
Yeah.
Like the pigeons. Like I
Yeah.
got like
Oh
the
my
pigeon guy
goodness.
shows up in Miles again. It's like, oh why? And it's just one pigeon or
Right.
something, and that's it, right? So I'm fine with that. The other thing that, and I know that they try to do it because they want to break up the action, right? Um, and I didn't necessarily find them hard, but the puzzles that you get on the original game with like, oh, I gotta figure out what is this chemical thing,
Oh
and you
yeah,
gotta
yeah. The
do the
elements or
bars,
whatever. And
yeah, do that, and then the one with the power relays. I mean, they're not hard, right?
no.
I mean, I went to school for computer science, so I guess that's not hard, but
Negatives, charge, positive charge, all that kind
yeah.
of
So
stuff.
it's
No,
that's
yeah.
yeah, that's not necessarily hard, but it's just that they try to break up the action, and I would have done without that. And what bothers me about those is that you don't get anything in return. Maybe you get like a token, excuse me, a token to use for your gadgets and whatnot. Oh, and I see what you mean about the gadgets, man, because the gadgets are OP
I
on
know.
that game, man.
Yeah,
Like on
that's the thing. Compared
Miles,
to the Miles one,
yeah,
Miles has more of a supercharged punch and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
like, Spidey's got the gadgets.
bro. It's like you get super OP, and then you start doing the suit abilities, and they're OP. Yeah,
Reminds you a little bit of Arkham Knight.
it does. Yeah,
It's a little Arkham Knight.
it gets yeah. Whereas Miles is more Arkham Asylum.
Right.
The main game is more Arkham Knight. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But yeah, I'm still really enjoying them. Still enjoying Titans.
Nice.
I think I watched like 3 more episodes, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, still enjoying it. I'm gonna see it through. I like it. But that's it. Joel, something happened last Thursday night after we recorded,
Right.
and it was one of those things that I wrap up the podcast, is posted to SoundCloud and the services, and we're all good. And I go to bed, right? And then I take one last look at my phone, see what's happening. And Joel, are you familiar with Robotech?
Yeah.
Okay. So Robotech basically is I don't want to call it the US version of Macross, but it's an adaptation of Macross. Macross is actually my favorite anime series of all time. And I'm talking about Super Dimension Fortress Macross, not sequels and whatnot. I know they're good, but no one's ever watched them because they never come here. Because the
Yeah.
company that has the rights to Robotech, US Gold, not US Gold. I'm sorry, Harmony Gold. US Gold was the terrible European developer for the Genesis. They never allowed anything outside of Japan. They basically have the worldwide rights to all of the Macross stuff, and they've been sitting for 35 years on this license, and they haven't done anything, dude. Anything. Like, we didn't get the sequels, we didn't get the movies, we didn't get anything because Harmony Gold didn't allow them to do anything. In 2019, um, the original owner of the rights owner, I don't think it's Tatsunoko, and I don't think it's Sunrise, but the original owner of the Macross series um, went to court with Harmony Gold, and they told Harmony Gold, listen, if you're not gonna do anything, we're gonna take the license back, because basically we only have the Japanese market when we could be a worldwide thing for 35 years, and you have not allowed us to do that. So come on. So there's a stipulation on that agreement, on that licensing agreement, that uh, every so like it kind of like what the Marvel thing was when with Sony. Like every few years, you need to have some Robotech thing out there. If not, we're gonna take the license back.
Hmm.
So they release like a comic book every 2 years, or
The most smallest thing.
or a figure every 2 years. So that way they don't lose the license, right? Um, I don't know what happened, but they reached an agreement um last week that that Harmony Gold will still keep the license to Robotech and whatever they do with that, but the original owner of the company has the rights to put their products worldwide. Finally. And I bring this up because there's a movie called Do You Remember Love? And it's one of my top, it's in my top 10. It's my favorite, probably my favorite animated movie of all time.
Okay.
Uh, I was actually, when I was in high school, right? And I found out that there was a movie, Macross movie. Um, being that, back then Robotech slash Macross was still my favorite anime series. I was like, oh, where's this movie? No one could find this movie. This movie did not exist anywhere. Like around 2010, I managed to buy a bootleg. It's the only bootleg movie that I own. because I
Wow.
needed to have a physical copy of this movie that I was looking for like 15 years prior to that, and no one had it. So this is a bootleg from like Canada that I found on eBay. It has a soundtrack. It's not the best quality, and it has like a forced karaoke thing on it on the subtitles. And I'm not a big fan of that, but you know, it is what it is. Um, I am looking forward to actually owning an official Blu-ray 4K Blu-ray copy of this
Wow.
movie because it's about time, bro. Dude, man, this movie's so good. It's so good. I still get goosebumps, like just even thinking about specific scenes in the movie because it's so good. Um, and for many years, this movie was the standard for anime movies. It's like, oh, can you get it as detailed as that? Can it look as good as that? It's like that. It was the for years. This was like the Lion King of like anime.
Wow.
Because this is like okay, so this is like next level stuff, and I was just so happy, dude. And I went to bed last Thursday after I laughed so hard and we recorded and all that. And I saw this, bro, and I almost teared up when I saw the news. I was like, no way. I was like, I felt it, dude. And I'm so happy that we're gonna get Macross 7 and Macross Delta and Macross Zero. And all like Macross Zero, I watched because I found a bootleg website. Don't ask me how I got there because I will not tell you.
The internet's a place.
The internet's a place. But you know, that's probably like either you know, other than the original Macross series that I watched, the original version of after Robotech. I actually have the Robotech box set, the DVD box set. It's I don't have it here. It's actually in my garage, because it's like it's overflow. It's a big box like this big, and I don't have space here. But but I do have it, and I'm looking forward to actually just owning official releases, an official release of this freaking movie, man. Because I love this movie so much. This movie is so good, Joe. It's so good, and it's not a crazy anime. It's not complicated. It's it's straight up a good story, right? I mean, the story on the series is much better because then you have 32 episodes or however long it was to actually explore the characters. But you know, this does a really good job as you know at condensing the story and giving you the important bits, and giving you probably the last like final assault, the probably the best one in anime history, still in my opinion. So,
Wow.
although Gundam Unicorn was close, but not as close as this. But I yeah I absolutely love that movie, and I am so happy that we're gonna get official Macross stuff in the U.S. finally after 35 years, man, of these people having that license and not doing anything with it.
Wow.
It's insanity. Insanity. How can you do that, bro? Could you imagine, Joe? Can you imagine if um i- that you were a kid in I don't know Indonesia, right?
Right.
And and someone and some like Japanese company had the rights to Spider-Man. And the only thing they released for Spider-Man was the Spider-Man series, or was the animated 90s series,
Okay.
an adaptation of that,
Yeah.
and that was it. And there was no more Spider-Man. And every couple of years you get a comic book,
Oh, I would
and
be
every
full of
couple of years you get a
anger,
figure.
dude.
It's and
When you
then
know you've got gold and you're just giving us crumbs, that's a problem.
that is exactly right. That is exactly what this is. That this has been a disaster, like
Wow.
in a level of magnitude that it's like ridiculous, dude. Because there's been slug. There's a I have the Robotech game that came out for PS2. Because it's the only thing that I could get, bro, here.
Dude.
But in Japan, there was like 5 PS2 games, dude, and they were awesome. And they were done by freaking Namco, dude, like Bandai Namco.
Wow. Jeez.
And there's like this is like
Yeah.
top tier stuff, and you are not releasing it, dude. Now, okay. So here's what I demand. I demand a remaster of the PS2 games on PS5.
Why not? You know they can do it.
Yeah, there was PS2. I think there was like PS2 or three PS3 games too. I don't think there was a PS4 game.
Yeah.
There might have been, but dude, I have the Saturn game. That's the only Sega Saturn game that I kept. Is a game that I imported. Uh, and it's the Macross movie game that came out for the 10th anniversary of the movie. And it's the only Saturn game that I actually kept. Um, because it's like I loved it so much, and that's the only thing that I could get that had scenes from the movie was a video game, dude. So I got to play the movie before actually watching the movie, which I did like 15 like 13 years later. It's nuts, bro. I
Insane.
I I'm so happy that we don't have to deal with this crap anymore. And yeah, just I'm it's pure joy to me. This is probably the best news I've had in like 2 years. So good.
Wow.
so
Wow. I know. I love it, dude. I love
so
it.
good. It's the best news since
Celebration, bro.
the best
The
news since
prodigal
the
son is home.
yeah, exactly. It's the best news since the pandemic started for sure. Like this is like thank you. Finally.
Nice.
All right. Falcon Winter Soldier, as always, spoiler alert.
Heavy spoiler heavy. We're
Have,
gonna get into it.
yeah, be warned. I told you he was gonna mess up.
You do exactly what you said.
I
Called this.
I told you he was gonna mess up, man. He desecrated the shield, and I mean, at some point we know that he's gotta get redeemed, right? Like, what they're building with this and what they were building with One Division is very West Coast Avengers.
Oh,
He's got to get redeemed at some point, but how do you think it's gonna happen?
I think so. There's very strong rumors. I believe the showrunner themselves did an interview and said that a major character is going to be in the next episode. And it's a new character with a very prominent actor playing this character, and
Ooh.
something along the lines of like they said something like I hope to see this character with Thor someday or something like that. And I was like, what?
Thor.
Yeah, look it up, dude. Like it's the showrunner themselves said it, and I was like,
Interesting.
we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're trolling us or if this is real. Um, but I think whatever happens, there's gonna have to be somebody who kind of like pardons him of his sins, in essence, that he genuinely admits, like, in my
It's Ghost Rider.
righteous anger, like I did
Penance
something.
Day.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Could be. I mean, but it's like there's gonna have to be some kind of, redemption to him. Like I mean, I have to be real, dude. Like I know people were like easily to forgive Bucky. I like how they've carried that stains of the past has been still heavy on him even now. I like that they've done that.
Yep.
Because it's like to me, it's like the dude literally murdered people, including like how you're talking about this guy with the shield. Dude straight up just choked out and banged in people's heads and all this, Tony's family. Like you can't just walk away and be like, oh, it's been cleared out of my mind. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like that's some heavy stuff he has to deal with. I
But,
think John will also have
yeah.
heavy things to deal with in his future, but he'll have someone who says, I know you're better than this.
But what I like about this episode and you bringing up Bucky too is that right at the beginning of the episode we saw the emotional toll that this whole thing had over Bucky, and it was a great scene.
His acting in that scene,
bro, so good. So it was very emotional. Like you could tell that he acted his ass off in that scene, dude. It was good. Um and something similar must happen. So that's the thing, right? We ended up we started the episode with a redemption story of sorts, right? He was able to forgive himself, and it's like I am no longer this thing that I was, right? And we ended with sort of that thing coming back to haunt him. Not specifically himself, but someone else. So something's gonna happen, and he's got to get redeemed at some point.
Here's my thing, though. I don't like. I agree with you. I think the West Coast Avengers thing is very obvious now. Like we already both talked about the reports of it before on the show, but I kind of feel like the dude's gonna die. Like
Think so?
he's gonna give his life as a sacrifice. Like I messed up. Now I'm gonna go die and for everyone else, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Because the thing in the comics is that um, when he messes up, Steve is the one that comes back and is like, "Yo, I gotta have my shield back," and
which is
and
not out of the
which is
question
not
that
gonna
somehow,
happen.
some way that like it's like a new cap, but it's not necessarily obviously him. Maybe it is a Bucky Barnes that, or I don't know, dude. Like I don't know, but someone's gonna pick up that shield. He's no longer gonna have it, and I think he's not gonna be around to have it, literally.
Yeah,
But it's possible they keep him. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they keep him because the character is much more important. But we'll see.
yeah, and his acting was really good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So and I didn't know that he is Kurt Russell's son.
Me either
I
until
just found out
recently.
last week. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That shot, dude, of blood on the shield. Blood on
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, Blood America. And
Like
everyone's watching, like the whole like
the
the
world is
title of the episode, The
watching.
World's Watching.
Ooh,
It was very good. I
it's
think
heavy.
it was very, very good episode. Yeah, it was heavy for sure. Um the thing with Sam, right,
And Carly.
and Carly, yeah, Sam was on the right track, right? But now we see Sam like having doubts about himself. So that's probably why Bucky will more than likely end up picking up the shield because of Sam not trusting himself with it. Although, when Zemo asked him, I was like, "Will you take the serum?" No. Oh, that was a fast answer, so I can tell that.
They parallel the same question
Yeah,
with John and his friend here,
yeah.
where he says, and he's like, "Oh, like
Oh,
I would
yeah,
instantly
on the
take it."
spot. Yeah,
Two very different answers,
yeah,
representing two very different kind of men.
yeah, yeah. Um, man,
I love
it was so
Zemo,
good.
man.
Seems so good.
I love like it's what a
It's
great job this guy is bringing to this
he's such a
character.
great actor,
Sneaking
dude.
away, closing the door while the Wakandan army is taking out this guy. It's great, dude. Great.
Yeah, it was really good. And the thing with the kids when it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I know how to get information. It's just get it from the kids. They'll
Starts
tell you.
singing some like European song and puts out candy and the kids come.
Yeah, it's like the Pied Piper or something, right? It's
Very much, yeah.
yeah, it was very good, very good. He's great, man. Like so far, like he is definitely the highlight of this show
Oh my
because
goodness, for
it's
sure.
very good.
What great stuff is coming out about that
Y-
character and the future of Zemo.
Yeah, very good. Still very interested to see who the power broker is. Um,
Yeah.
that like there's this last episode. There's a few points that is not Sharon. So like Sharon knows who the power broker is, but it's not her.
No, it's not her.
But yeah,
Which I said in last week on our show.
yeah,
It's not her.
yep,
It's too on the nose.
yeah. His friend dying, dude. I didn't see that one though. Like what is
Me
this?
either.
Not the super patriot, but it's like Blazing Star or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um.
didn't see that coming either.
Yeah. So that was pretty sad actually because I liked him. I
Yeah.
think he was like a voice of conscience for
Yeah.
John, and then not having that voice of conscience there now,
Drove him mad.
they're mad. Yeah.
He got so angry when he saw that what happened to that dude.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you felt it watching. What a great build up. I've only watched episode once. I'm planning to try and watch it again. Maybe tonight before get into
For watching the new
tomorrow
one
because
tomorrow. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll watch the next one tomorrow night. I'll probably stay off of socials as much as I can.
I know, especially if there is a character of some magnitude that's played by a prominent actor that's new.
Yeah.
I don't know if that rumor is true or not.
Yep. Very good stuff.
Yep.
Well, I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed. So, um, Joel, it was confirmed by Kevin Feige today that production for Doctor Strange wrapped up. So
Yes.
so that's done. We just gotta wait, right? Um, the one thing that's interesting now. Do you want to talk about Spider-Man? About the
Sure.
the
Quick
the,
little
the
rumor mill.
yeah, the rumor mill. Yeah. So there's this rumor floating around that there's a supposed plot leak. Take this with a grain of salt. This is rumors and speculation. We don't know if this is true. It got spoiled for us, so that's kind of stinks. But like apparently the movie starts with Spider-Man fighting Electro, and Electro basically telling Spider-Man that he knows who he is, and then when Spider-Man takes his mask off, it's Tobey Maguire, uh, not Tom Holland, and then the Marvel logo comes in, and then that's where the movie starts. So I was like, oh man, they're allegedly doing it, right? Um, and basically the rumor is that there's gonna be like a merger of the three Spider-Man dimensions, and then two other ones that were not mentioned who there were in the supposed leak. Which one we can speculate? It's Miles. The other one could be Noir. I mean, that would
Spider
be
Gwen world.
or
I don't
Spider
know.
Gwen, because I know that there's a lot of
A lot
people
of
really want to
fans.
see Spider Gwen live action. So those could be the possible other two. Um, very interesting stuff. There's they're saying that Willem Dafoe's back as one of the versions of Norman
Norman.
Osborn, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty interesting stuff. But what do you think?
So I don't believe the premise. Like they can't like the person the room mill. They kind of take you through major stuff of the whole movie, kind of putting it together. I don't necessarily believe the layout of it. Like the whole like Spider-Man's running to the sanctum, with his aunt, to like seek like protection and ask
Oh,
like and ask like him to create a spell to like and reverse the exposure of his identity. That kind of stuff to me seemed a little
yeah,
maybe. But the stuff of William Defoe's Norman Osborn trying to connect to other universes. He's creating some kind of bridge for whatever reason. That smells of something that definitely could be coming into play. The whole thing of the Scorpion being discussed and putting together with a new Sinister Six smells completely of something there as well, made out of an Iron Man 2 suit, which is interesting.
yeah,
Um, and then I think the other one that really stuck out to me the most was the whole idea of Spider-Man basically being like almost like seeking refuge, like jumping through universes, seeking refuge. I can totally see that being the case. Like he literally flees his world and is now stuck in other worlds, trying to get back to his main world and finding a way of how he gets back. Totally can see that coming. I think Strange would be looking for him. So yeah, the rumor as a whole, it's kind of hard for me to look at like the whole thing is like yes, but there's a couple little details there that I'm like, I would not be surprised we watch this movie and there's definitely seeds that are right on. And it's from 4chan. Like I'm gonna say, like it's not from
yeah,
like a big name reporter or anybody that could bring that.
yeah. But
But that doesn't
allegedly,
mean it's
yeah,
wrong either. Like these things have been true before. So
yeah.
we'll
Allegedly,
see.
the leaker that put this stuff out there has been right before about some other things. So that's why we're talking
Yeah.
about it, because it's like the there's a track record. Like if this was my sources tell me that I have not had not one thing true come out, and um
My
but
sources tell me Tobey Maguire did not want to wear his mask.
yeah, right. So, but we know that, I mean, we've been hearing the rumors for the longest time.
Yeah.
Um, is going to be very interesting. One of the universes could be Venom, because we know that Venom comes out before Spider Man.
And that's interesting because they never directly connect him to Spider-Man, so he could be another universe.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
interesting. Good point.
And did you hear the other rumors about Sam Raimi?
I know
No.
he's directing Strange. That's all.
So there's a rumor that after that Spidey 3 is going to set up the Sam Raimi Spidey 4 that got canceled with Tobey
Oh my
Maguire.
goodness, dude.
Yep.
If that's true,
Yep.
woo.
Yeah, man. Because that's Crib. You remember that Tobey Maguire was still like not, kind of sort of contractually obligated to that movie. So was Sam
I'm
Raimi,
telling you, man, if that's true,
and the script was
because no
done.
offense, no offense to the Andrew Garfield stuff, like it's fine. We got what we wanted, whatever. But that Tobey Maguire series,
Yeah, and it's gonna be like a separate Sony thing, like Venom.
it wasn't done. That movie, that series was not. Spider-Man 3 was not the end.
No, so that's the thing that they're supposedly going to
Man,
set.
you've shocked my world.
Yeah, man, it's out there. Supposedly Spidey 3 is going to set up, whatever the next big thing with, Doctor Strange, right?
Right.
But it's also going to set up Spidey 4 with Sam Raimi back at, directing the movie. And man, it's
If
and it
that
would be like
happens, I'm gonna lose
and
it.
it would be a Sony thing like Venom, like they do their own thing.
Good for Sony. Let
Yeah,
them
man.
do it.
Yeah.
Let them make their money out of it. As long as we get
Oh
our,
yeah.
Tom Holland and the Avengers stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can
totally.
have both at the same time.
Why
It doesn't.
not?
We can have Batfleck and Robert
Patton.
Pattinson. I don't.
I don't
Doesn't
care.
bother me, man. So the same thing could be said for Spider Man, because I'm surprised you didn't hear those rumors, man. That's
I did not hear that rumor about them
yeah,
bringing. I'm like, wow, that you're shocking my world, man. But
yeah,
if that happens to be true, like I'm gonna go crazy.
yeah. So be prepared. So we could be getting Spider-Man 4, two Spider-Man 4s on like 2025 or something. I mean, yeah. It's
Wow.
insanity, right?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Because we know, like, there's someone was saying that um the movie, like, there's already like a test intro for the movie, and it's basically like Spider-Man getting all the different other villains. Like after Spider-Man 3, he caught Electro, he caught Mysterio, and he caught Vulture, and
Yep.
all this other like classic Spider-Man villains that he caught. They did say who's gonna be like the main villain. Um, but I can't remember. There was I know I heard.
I mean, I know Vulture and Mysterio were going to be pretty big, and hence some of the stuff for Vulture that was going to be inspired for, they ended up using for the Spider-Man Homecoming.
Homecoming.
They
Yeah.
used some of those same concepts,
Yeah,
and I know
let me see.
Raimi's talked about it before, so I don't know, man.
Dude, let me see.
There was a whole premise involved. I mean, there's concept art that got leaked years ago for Spider-Man 4. Like this was in production, and they cut the production.
Okay, so it's on a couple of non 100% like reliable websites, but it's on a few of them.
Man,
And I just want to see if I can remember who the
villain.
was. Uh
If I had to, if again, I know that Mysterio and Vulture were already used. So if I had to guess, they're going to stay away from that unless it's another version of them. But I know those
yeah.
two were supposed to be pretty prominent. Interestingly, again, like that's what you saw with Homecoming, Vulture, and then Far From Home, Mysterio. So
And,
they did kind of follow the same villains, just in a new.
yeah. It's going to be interesting cuz like the actress that played Anne May back then probably died, right? Cuz she was already pretty
I
old.
think she did pass. No, I do know
Okay.
that for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember them honoring her at like the Oscars, if I'm not mistaken, or some of that.
Yeah. I can't find it, but I know that there's an article out there that talks about who the proposed villain was. But yeah, man, it's it's setting up two universes. That movie's supposed to be setting up two separate universes. Maybe
That
that's
would and if remember this movie's just to come out Christmas. That would be like a Christmas gift like no other if they do that for me,
bro.
dude.
I would be
You know
happy.
how big I'd be. You know I'm a Spider Boy. The smile would be
Spider-Boy.
like, wow.
I would be surprised if they like. I wouldn't be surprised, right, if they actually go back and finish the Amazing series, because there was another one movie left on that
There
too.
was one as well.
Yeah, it's just that second one is so weird. It's
Yeah.
just such a weird movie, man. It's not necessarily bad. It's just
It
weird, and the
was they
pacing
were
is
not
weird.
sure where they were heading for sure with that series. They
Bro,
lost their
I've watched
footprint.
that movie once and
Wow.
never watched it again. And it's
Maybe
not,
3 times. Maybe I've watched it three.
yeah,
Maybe.
and it's like Dark Phoenix, right?
No, no, it's not that.
It's not Fanforstic.
No, it's not that. I'd rather watch Spider-Man
Oh
2 than
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah, yeah,
movies.
yeah. Like, even it's funny because my dad is like, he was actually, yeah, asking me, was like, oh, I saw there's like two new, I watched like two new Spider-Man movies. I was like, oh yeah, the one with the Vulture, and the other one is like, no, it's like a, and I was like, oh, there's like a lizard guy and an electric guy. And I was like,
Nice.
oh, those movies. And it's like,
Nice.
yeah, okay, yeah. It's like, yeah, they're pretty good. It's like, yeah,
Nice.
they're.
Nice.
That's funny.
Hey, catch up on
So
stuff
catch,
during this time.
yeah. Um, but
I don't think
it's
those
it's
movies
kind
are
of
on like
nice.
any streaming services, like nowhere.
Probably Netflix. I don't know.
I don't know,
Oh, you know
man.
what? Oh, there. That we haven't talked about that Sony deal with Netflix too.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, and they announced they
I
have
was
a
hoping Disney
substantial
Plus would
deal.
get the Spider-Man movies, but I had a feeling they wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I know Sony was already talking to Netflix with the James Bond movies. So where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
yeah. I think Netflix is a good place for those movies, for the Spider-Man movies.
It's gonna help them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a big boy announcement there. All right, now Spidey. we
Can
gotta,
never have enough. No, it's okay.
we gotta move along.
We do.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about lightsabers.
So yeah, we gotta talk about like lightsabers and the Avengers again. So Jill, there's a Disney patented a retractable lightsaber technology to be used at the parks, not like the retractable ones you buy at Target, where like you retract, right?
Yeah.
But this is like an actual thing that will come out and in and out, and has an LED strip. There's a picture, or there's a concept video of like sort of like what the
There
technology
is?
is.
It's
Uh,
a concept video?
yes. If you there's a the Verge article has a tweet by
Oh, I gotta find that.
yeah, and they have a concept video of what it looks like. Basically, it's tape measures
Yeah.
with
That's
a
what I
little
was like
retractable
imagining,
thing.
to be honest.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a roll of LED strips,
And just
and then they just come out of the saber when activated. Um, this has to be inside of a tube of sorts, so you can look nice, because you're not gonna swing an LED strip around, right? So, you know, not make a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Oh yeah, here's a video of what the tubing would be like.
I found it too.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yep.
So it does have some tubing. Um, very cool stuff. If you ask me, this is very, very cool. Um, Joel, I'm actually very tempted. I'm going to Disney Springs on Saturday, and I'm tempted to actually buy a lightsaber, one of the nice ones,
Yeah.
right? It's 150 bucks or whatever they are, but it's like, I don't know. I've been wanting one for so long, since like they first came out. Those like
I
Black
know.
Series or
The
whatever.
Black Series, yeah.
Yeah. Man. So
I was supposed to, true story, right before everything shut down, where the park shut down and everything in March. I had already had it planned. I was gonna go to Hollywood Studios the week after it shut down. I didn't know at that point it was gonna shut down. I already had it scheduled and everything. I was gonna get to Hollywood Studios and I was gonna build a lightsaber there. Their build a lightsaber experience thing, the
yeah.
lightsaber workshop. And as you know, history, the whole thing got shut down. And
Yep.
now if you do it, it's like super weird where like everyone's gotta be like spaced out. And I get it, like for what it is right now, but I'd rather experience it in a more the way it's supposed to be done originally. So I'm waiting till
Yeah.
after. But I've wanted to do one too, is my point.
Yeah. Yep. Man, this thing's it's cool. And they're probably gonna sell it for a lot of money.
Oh,
Yeah.
and they will probably be getting that money from me.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool tech. And they apparently want to implement it at the parks first, and
Mhm.
then I'm assuming that it's probably going to be available to
Right.
purchase at a Disney store or online.
Well, if they don't do it fast enough, people are gonna resell that thing like crazy.
Well,
Like
yeah. The
like if
thing,
they only have it in the park, somebody's gonna buy it and they're gonna go on eBay and say like from Disney parks, people in like across the country who can't get to Disney World are gonna buy it.
well, you probably got people like this company's like, what is it called, like Hyper Sabers or whatever, the non-licensed stuff that's freaking awesome, right? Because they
Right.
sound incredible and they look great. They're very expensive. There's like anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for one of these lightsabers. Um, you can bet that they see this picture. It's like, we can probably do that,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
probably come up with something like this. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I mean, this is a concept, right? Do they have the patents? Because
Right.
because ultra sabers are probably working on something similar to this, or a different sort of mechanism that
Laser
would make
swords.
it sort of like it's laser swords. Yeah. Um, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Joel, they did confirm finally that the Avengers campus at Disneyland opens on June 4th,
Very soon.
and yeah, that's very soon. And I'm actually glad that Disneyland reopened already. So,
Yeah.
did you see the prices, dude?
Oh
Because
my goodness, dude.
they
It's
changed
crazy.
they changed the pricing. It's one
And
hundred
there's
and fifty dollars for one
the,
day.
the annual pass thing. You've seen like what they're doing with that, similar to over
No,
here.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, they're basically trying to make it like only the elites can have it, dude. Like they're discouraging it greatly.
Wow, it's yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. The Avengers headquarters, of course, they already had the Guardians of the Galaxy mission breakout. They will have a Spider-Man ride, or some sort of
Yes,
Spider-Man
a
attraction.
Spider-Man thing of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
The Sanctum.
yes, I was gonna say like I don't fully understand like an actual ride like that they have aside from what they have with the Guardians. Like I'm like, is there any actual real rides outside of that? Like I didn't fully understand that in the information.
So I'm clicking on.
I see a lot of experiences like an Avengers experience, which is cool.
It has to be a Spider-Man ride because he has a height restriction.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It has a spitting dark loud sign, so it's a ride.
That's it. Can I book
Joe.
me a flight to California? I'm out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Show
Nice.
me the way to California.
Yeah. It's probably gonna be something similar
I gotta go to
to the
California.
Universal one.
Right, I go to California now for the Mario stuff. I gotta go over there for
This
that
is gonna
now,
happen first over there. Yeah.
and then I gotta go over there for this Spider-Man ride.
You just need a 1 day ticket to both, and that's it.
Hey, Comic Con 2022. If it doesn't get
2022, if
canceled,
it happens, right?
right?
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
Yep. Exactly. um, Joel, before we go into the PlayStation 5 firmware, well, let's talk about that real quick because
Sure.
it's pretty quick. So there was a new version of the first major update for the PS5 firmware, and it has a few cool features, like you can actually now use a USB drive to save PS5 games, to install PS5 games,
That's right.
which is interesting. Um, and now I'm glad that I actually bought that drive, and now I'm actually mad that I didn't get an SSD for that drive.
Yeah.
Um, but now you can use that. You can share play between PS4 and PS5. You can request to join game sessions, improvements on the launch, quick options disabling for game chat, pre-downloading game updates, customizing the search on your game library. Great, finally, because I don't like that game library. Scream Zoom I never used. New trophy settings. The only thing that they're not talking about here is that they're enabling 1080p 120 frames if you have a monitor that supports it, a PC monitor. So they unlock that feature. And they fixed the disc spinning thing that I mentioned a few
Yeah.
weeks ago that I was playing Spider-Man, and then it started making this crazy noise, and it was the disc spinning, and I thought it was the fan. So they're fixing that as well. But yeah, not much to say here. But anything that pops out for you?
Well, I mean, that was the first thing was the noise thing with fixing that is going to be one of the first noticeable things, and then also, of course, the storage expansion because yes, digital gaming is increasing. People are buying more digital than physical copies. You and I are men of physical copies traditionally, but we also will get our digital copies as well. So open to the changes. And the only way to really continue that is like you shouldn't have to force, little Billy to go and, you know, physically install a new, a new drive, buy a super expensive, SSD, custom SSD and go install it. Like, you should be able to buy an external thing and say, all right, let's plug it up and load it up. So I like this. It's way more user friendly. It's way more commercially friendly. It's just going to help benefit their overall sales pitch on this console. But not that they needed that. So it's a big upgrade. It seems like small, but this is big for them to do this within
Yeah,
this time frame.
there's a lot of things like I'm just scrolling through, right?
Sure.
And one thing that it has that is not mentioned anywhere in the articles is that you can disable HDR for games that do not have HDR native. So things like that. The monitor support, of course, that they're
Yeah.
mentioning. Apparently, the DualSense got an update too for the firmware.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's a few things happening with that. But yeah, not much to say there. And I guess we'll see how this runs over the weekend
Yeah.
now, and whenever I turn it back on. But yeah, that's pretty cool. One thing that is not cool, Joe. I don't know. So I have mentioned it before that I was not a big fan of Jim Ryan. I had my reservations,
Hmm.
but I still gave him the benefit of the doubt. Um, Allegedly, Sony Bend reached out and made a pitch for Days Gone 2, and Sony refused it. And apparently, they just wanted Sony Bend to make a remake of The Last of Us. Why? We already have a remaster. The game looks great. This game does not need a remake. Why not use that talented team, have them work on something else? I don't know. I don't know if this is a Herman Holst thing or if this is a Jim Ryan thing. Jim Ryan is more of a PR guy, if you ask me. But Holst is the guy that's in charge of Worldwide Studios now. I don't know if this is his decision or what, but it's just weird. It's just weird.
It doesn't make much sense. The only thing I can rationally think of is that they must really believe in this HBO series that's going to be coming out, this Last of Us series, and they must think it's critical to like forget the remastered. Like we need to have this complete next generation experience that's even
With the
greater than
actors
before.
from the show.
Right, like something like that to tie in for a marketing move, which does not bode well much with the gaming community because they'll be like, "You're just trying to make more money off us for a third time."
And I don't know why, man.
I don't know why. Days Gone 2's could have been fine. I mean, I didn't play Days Gone 1 yet. It's a part of that PS Plus collection.
It's
I've seen
free
a
this
lot of
month,
really cool
right?
gameplay. Yeah, for this month,
Also, yeah.
I've seen a lot of good gameplay from it.
Yeah,
So
apparently the game launched pretty rough and then it got patched a few times and it's really good. So,
yeah,
yeah. You know what? I may give that game a chance, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, but it's interesting. We've seen now with the PS3 stuff happening that the stores shutting down. I don't know if you saw that they've already started pulling patches off the PS3. So if you buy a game, a physical game, you won't be able to patch it, and you're stuck with the day one game. If you buy Bayonetta on PS3, enjoy your 25 frames a second.
Ooh, ouch. You have
Oh
to find
man.
someone must have like a US like a, something you could download on your computer and manually upgrade. I
Someone's
don't know.
probably keeping an archive of that.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
gotta be.
Yeah, there's gotta be people keeping an archive. But
You
it's
can get me.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's a games preservation movement out there, so
Hey, I'm with them.
it's a thing. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. It's weird, right? Uh, I wouldn't sound the alarms just yet. I'm willing to say wait for the three. I'm gonna do like the Xbox One guys. It's like wait for next E3.
Oh no.
It's like
Uh-oh.
Xbox Ones.
Oh my gosh.
Xbox One fans for the QAnon or the of the gaming community wait for next E3 and nothing ever happened. Oh, this thing's
That
gonna
was
happen.
good. That was good, dude. That was great.
This thing's gonna happen this date. Nothing happened. Nothing gets announced.
Because this guy on this forum says that this is gonna happen, so just wait, guys.
Just wait.
And everybody waits.
Just wait. You wait for E3. Nothing happens. Wait for the next games with live or whatever.
What an
Nothing happens.
embarrassment. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. That's that was
Wow.
Xbox One was
I'm
rough,
sorry.
bro.
I'm sorry, Xbox fans. Like, I'm sorry. You guys.
But you gotta
got
admit, dude,
passionate. Like, that's cool.
Xbox One was
when
rough,
it came
bro.
when it came to that just wait stuff, that was not a good look.
Just wait for E3, and Sony was like, God of War. Oh, wait for next E3. Oh, this thing. Wait for next E3. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh, wait for next E3, and nothing ever happened.
Ryzen.
Man. Oh, Last of Us 2. Oh, wait for next E3. And E3 got canceled. And
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
and now
nothing.
Xbox Series X is out. And see, again, nothing against the hardware.
No.
Because I think, and even I think they've had the superior controller for 2 generations
Absolutely.
now. I think, in my opinion. Well, no, because the DualSense is better than the Xbox One controller. Even the Elite,
Well,
right?
have you seen the new? Yeah, you see
The Elite, yeah. The Elite's nice, right?
Yeah.
But I think the DualSense is just
Yeah, I love it. I mean,
it's
it
just
hits
too
every mark I
immersive.
need.
Yeah, the immersion that you get with the DualSense is just
Once you play that
it's
Astro thing, bot
it's
thing,
Spider-Man.
oh
It's
my!
yeah. The immersion that you get with the controller and the
It's a
feedback that you get.
sense.
Exactly. Yep. It's funny because then I play PS4, right? I'm doing those crazy, like, still doing those crazy Bloodborne runs, and it just the rumble feels so clunky on the PS4. But the DualSense is like super refined, and the trick and everything feels so good when the game gives you feedback through the controller, right? And that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Versus just being a rumble. Yeah. That being said, dude, I mean, I think Microsoft is getting ready for an onslaught. I mean, probably not this year, probably not next year, but say like starting like late next year, early 2023, they'll probably start like big game, free on Game Pass. Yeah, and that's when it's gonna get scary for Sony if they don't fix the problems that they have right now.
Right.
Right now, they don't have anything to worry about. That's why I'm not sounding the alarms. But I'm not saying that could be the case in a year and a half. So we'll see. There's we still have a few things, Final Fantasy 16 and other things that confirmed. Of course we're gonna get God of War 2. Of course Horizon 2 is coming out, and
Yeah.
of course we're gonna get this other huge games. But we want to see more. Here, now I'm worried about PS3. It's an extensive library of games. Awesome games. Where's my remake of Metal Gear Solid 4? That's a game that deserves a remake.
Yeah.
Because that's an early game for the console. The Last of Us was a late PS3, early PS4 game, basically. Um, I can live without that remake, but you know, remake Metal Gear Solid 4. Talk to Konami. It's like we'll fund it, and we do it. Speaking of Konami, I don't know if you saw that they're putting out a game for the Switch.
I heard about this.
It's
Yeah.
not Okami, then something
Back from the dead. Look at these guys.
comes out next year. It's called gets Fumaden. It's like something of the moon or something like that. Undying Moon. So yeah, it looks like it's a rogue like 2D sort of like Castlevania-ish game based on Japanese mythology. It looks pretty good actually for this, coming out for the Switch. They haven't announced any other platforms, so um, yeah. Oh no, it's actually coming out on PC. So PC and Switch. Yeah. Well, there you go. Konami lives. Um, I still want to see what's going to happen with Nintendo this year. They're putting out a new color for the Switch Lite. I don't know if you saw that. Like a dark blue. Looks nice.
People were joking. They're like Switch Pro.
Yeah. I think it's gonna. I think Switch Pro. It's probably gonna get announced. In the next 60 days, probably.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think so.
E3's June. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see Ubisoft posted their schedule?
Yep, I'm pretty hyped for that. You know me.
We're gonna have to start planning around that, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Because we should try and go live as much as we can.
Yeah, for sure. They gotta come up with something for PS3 games, and maybe they're pulling those patches off from the PS3 servers, but they're moving them to the upgraded PSN that they've been working on, since like 2015. So I mean, who knows? I really don't want to see those games disappear. And it's a shame. There's a lot of really good games and a lot of really good digital games that you can get on PS3. So, not a big fan of that move, and I know that for Jim Ryan, it's probably not important. And at the end of the day, it's not really, because you're not selling new games, and that's the thing. You want to sell new games, and I don't know. It's wait and see for me. A lot of people out there are sounding the alarm. Come October of next year, if we're still doing no load time, I will tell you if I'm alarmed or not. So, so we'll see. Hey, you never know, man. Right?
You never know, dude.
It could be we could get sued for our name.
No,
for our name.
No.
By Xbox fanboys for comparing them.
Time. Oh my gosh.
With conspiracy theories. Yeah, defamation.
I should have said, no offense, guys.
It's all fun and games, guys. No,
that
it's
was something, man.
It was funny. It was funny. It was like every year. 2016 comes in. Wait for next E3. Yeah, wait for next E3. Wait for the next Xbox showcase. Wait for next E3. Oh, Crackdown 3 is gonna come out.
Yeah. Oh, and then it's gonna save everything.
Wait for Crackdown 3 is gonna save everything. Yeah, man. It's hilarious. I miss those days. I miss those days. Premiere. Yeah, I still need to get the soundboard going. I got a few things here.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming.
But nothing too crazy. Still working on it. We'll see. I think the volume was too high, so I apologize for that. Joe, that's what we got. If you want to go ahead and plug us in, sir.
Absolutely. Ladies, gentlemen, good people, No Load Time, thank you for sticking with us. We want to encourage you to stay connected. So please follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Of course, if you're watching us on Facebook Live right now, thank you for joining us. Please share this with your friends and family. We'd love for as many people as possible to join in and join in the fun. You can also subscribe to us. We're also on podcast platforms. So look us up on your podcast platforms, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon. We're out there. You can also subscribe to our video version on our YouTube channel. please go ahead and send us an email if you would like to follow up with a question or comment that you maybe like to see us discuss here on the show. Send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Questions, comments, something you'd like for us to discuss on the show. We'd love to hear from you. Again, we'll see you all on our very next episode. Until then,
Thank you, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.